Superhero shows are all starting to feel the same, aren't they? Well, Daredevil Born Again is here to change that, and if you're not ready for a dark, gritty, and violent return to Hell's Kitchen, you might want to stick to the brightly colored fluff. Daredevil Born Again is an upcoming Disney Plus series that continues the story of Matt Murdock, a blind lawyer who moonlights as the vigilante Daredevil. The show is set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, aka the MCU, and it's a direct continuation of the Netflix series, picking up 5 years after we last saw Matt, Foggy, and Karen. It was initially conceived as an 18-episode season, but was later split into 2 parts. The first season premieres on March 4th, 2025, with 2 episodes. The full season is going to have 9 episodes, with new episodes dropping weekly on Tuesdays. Interestingly, episodes 5 and 6 will be released together too on March 25th. This unusual mid-season double drop has fans speculating about a major plot twist or even a cliffhanger. But that's not all. The second season has already been greenlit and is expected to premiere in early to mid-2026. This second season is going to have 8 episodes. Let's talk about who's bringing this show to life though. Of course, Charlie Cox is back as Matt Murdock / Daredevil. Cox first gained widespread recognition for his role in the 2007 fantasy film Stardust, and later starred in HBO's Boardwalk Empire. He's joined by Vincent D'Onofrio, reprising his role as the menacing Wilson Fisk / Kingpin. D'Onofrio is known for his diverse roles in films like Full Metal Jacket, Men in Black, and Jurassic World. Excitement surrounds the upcoming series as familiar faces return alongside new additions. Deborah Ann Wall will reprise her role as Karen Page, Eldon Henson as Foggy Nelson, and John Bernthal as Frank Castle / The Punisher. Ayala Zurrer will once again portray Vanessa Marina Fisk, and Joanne Wally will return as Maggie Murdock. Adding to the anticipation, the series will introduce new characters, with Margarita Laviva playing Heather Glenn, Matt Murdock's new love interest, and then late actor Camar de los Reyes as Hector Ayala, White / White Tiger, and Tony Dalton as Swordsman. The directing team includes Michael Custa, Jeffrey Nachmanoff, David Boyd, and the duo of Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. Before we dive into Born Again, let's take a quick look back at the Daredevil series that streamed on Netflix from 2015 to 2018. The show was a massive hit, with both critics and fans praising it for its dark and gritty tone, complex characters, and brutal, realistic fight choreography. It explored mature themes like faith, morality, and the consequences of violence, setting it apart from other Marvel TV shows. One of the things that made the Netflix series so compelling was its grounded approach to storytelling. Daredevil wasn't saving the world from alien invasions or battling interdimensional threats. He was fighting to protect his neighborhood, Hell's Kitchen, from the criminals and corrupt officials who preyed on its residents. The show also featured some of the best fight choreography ever seen in a superhero series. The hallway fight scene in season 1 became an instant classic, and the show continued to raise the bar with its action sequences in subsequent seasons. While Marvel has been tight-lipped about specific plot details, we do have some clues. The official synopsis tells us that Matt Murdock is still fighting for justice as a lawyer, while Wilson Fisk is pursuing his political ambitions in New York. Their paths will collide, leading to an inevitable showdown. Showrunner Dario Scardapane has described the show as a legal procedural with an action-based crime story vibe. He's also hinted that the show will be even more violent than the Netflix series. In an interview, Scardapane and executive producer Sana Amanat said they were shocked by how neither Disney nor Marvel asked them to pull back on the show's violence. We know from other MCU series Echo that Fisk will be running for mayor of New York. If he wins, it could spell trouble for Daredevil and the city. In the comics, Fisk's time as mayor allows him to manipulate the city's resources and law enforcement to target Daredevil. We also know that Matt will be facing some personal challenges. He'll be dealing with the aftermath of his disappearance during the blip and trying to rebuild his life. He'll also be navigating a new relationship with Heather Glenn, a therapist who has different views on vigilantism. Adding another layer of intrigue, Yusuf Khan, Kamala Khan's father from Miss Marvel, will be seeking help from Matt Murdock. This crossover with another MCU character suggests that Daredevil Born Again will be more connected to the larger MCU than the Netflix series was. Marvel has released a few trailers and teasers that give us glimpses of what to expect. We see Matt and Fisk meeting in a diner, hinting at a tense confrontation. Fisk says to Matt, "By the look of it, you've come up in the world," to which Matt replies, "I could say the same about you." This exchange highlights the changes both characters have gone through since we last saw them. There are also also scenes of Daredevil in action, showcasing the show's gritty, brutal fight choreography. One trailer shows Fisk saying, "Vigilantes are not heroes, they are a threat to society." This suggests that Fisk will be using his political power to try and take down Daredevil. As I mentioned earlier, Daredevil Born Again is a direct continuation of the Netflix series. This means that the events of those 3 seasons are canon within the MCU. We can expect the new show to build on the character development and storylines established in the previous series. Some fans have speculated that the Born Again title might hint at a storyline inspired by the classic Daredevil comic book arc of the same name. In that story, Karen Page, struggling with addiction, sells Daredevil's secret identity to Kingpin in exchange for drugs. Kingpin then uses this information to systematically destroy Matt Murdock's life, ruining his career, his finances, and his relationships. Driven to the brink, Daredevil suffers a mental breakdown and becomes increasingly violent. He eventually recovers with the help of his estranged mother and confronts Kingpin in a final showdown. It'll be interesting to see if the new series draws any inspiration from this iconic comic book storyline. The return of Ailey Zurer as Vanessa Fisk and Joanne Whalley as Maggie Murdock suggests that the show might indeed be adapting elements of Born Again. Daredevil has already made a few appearances in the MCU, though showing up in Spider-Man No Way Home, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and Echo. Daredevil Born Again will further solidify his place in the larger MCU. There's a lot of speculation about how Daredevil might interact with other MCU characters in the future. Could we see him team up with Spider-Man or even join the Avengers? And only time will tell. Daredevil Born Again was filmed on location in New York City, primarily in Harlem, which is standing in for Hell's Kitchen, and Williamsburg. This adds to the show's authenticity and allows it to capture the gritty atmosphere of Daredevil's world and New York City in general. Interestingly, the show is being produced on a smaller budget than other Marvel Studios productions. This decision was made to allow for multiple seasons and to maintain the show's grounded and street-level focus. Daredevil Born Again has the potential to be more than just another superhero show. It could have a significant impact on the larger MCU. The show's darker tone and focus on street-level crime could offer a welcome contrast to the more cosmic and fantastical elements that have been prevalent in recent MCU projects. It could also pave the way for more grounded, character-driven stories within the MCU. Personally, I can't wait to see how this new series expands on the Daredevil mythos. The Netflix series was praised for its dark tone and complex characters and brutal action sequences, and I'm hoping that Daredevil Born Again will continue that trend while also exploring new facets of Daredevil's world. I'm also excited to see how the show handles the return of Kingpin. Vincent D'Onofrio's portrayal of the character was one of the highlights of the Netflix series, and I'm eager to see what he does with the role now that Fisk is a powerful political figure. In the comics, Daredevil is known for his radar sense, which allows him to perceive his surroundings in a unique way. He can even read printed text by feeling the ink on the page. It'll be interesting to see if the show explores these lesser-known aspects of his powers. The show also has the potential to delve into some mature and thought-provoking themes. Daredevil's struggle with his Catholic faith and his violent actions as a vigilante could be a source of compelling drama. The show could also explore the psychological effects of trauma and the complexities of morality in a world where the lines between good and evil are often blurred. So, are you ready for the return of Daredevil? Dive back into Hell's Kitchen with us and get ready for a wild ride. And if you're curious about what other heroes whose powers came from unexpected origins, don't forget to click this video right here to see our previous video, Superheroes Who Got Their Powers by Accident. You won't want to miss it. Bye!